Good afternoon, Copites. Welcome back to another episode of Copites of Anfield and the review of the Manchester United game that happened yesterday. So, obviously, before we do any sort of conversations, discussions around that, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Please help us push to those numbers that we're looking for, and we welcome your comments and suggestions, and see what you think as well. So, well, it's as I thought. I was trying to be optimistic in the sense that we might have just pulled something out of the bag and maybe create a bit of a game against Manchester United and get ourselves into a position of securing or getting very close to securing fourth place or even third. And what I witnessed was bloody awful. In that sort of first 20 minutes, it was horrific. And I'm so done with this manager now. I'm really am done with Slot. I mean, I was pissed off before. I'm even more irate at this absolute pillock that's systematically, destroying all the hard work that's been put there in the last 10 years or so under Klopp. I do not recognise who we are. I don't recognise the style of play that we're doing. I can't identify with the style of play. I can't understand the sort of levels of quality that I'm seeing is so bad. And from my side, United aren't that great. They were just playing the game. And doing things a little bit more simply, keeping the ball on the ground, passing it through. We were devoid of ideas, and it was no surprise. We deserved to be 2-0 down, and both of the goals were a bit of a mess in a sense, but ultimately we brought it upon ourselves. And, we brought it back to 2-2 only because of United shitting in bed and creating those chances for us. I mean, I watched it yesterday, and I just felt that, there was only one team that wanted it more, and it was United, and that's sickening. I didn't expect to for us to win outright. I expected to have, play for the badge, and again, it's just lethargic football. It's the worst kind of football I've ever seen. Like, I used to hate Hodgson with a passion back in the day when he had us for 6 months. This guy is doing exactly that, but even 10 times worse. And I'm sick to death of just watching us look so bang average and ordinary that even our league position doesn't really suggest. You should suggest that we're playing okay, but we're not. It's so awful, and it is down to the manager at the end of the day. It just is. At the beginning, I was probably anchoring more on the players and their attitude and everything else like that, and there is an element of that, but the majority of this, they're being coached by this plonker, and they just look so crap. I know we're depleted. I know that we are short in numbers with injuries and whatnot, but for Christ's sake, he's now put Curtis Jones at wing back when we could have probably started Gomez if needed, or put Frimpong in there and put Jones in a more natural position. It's like he's just chops and changes, and Wirtz again looks absolutely lost because he's been shifted out of position once again. Rio could have started, Chiesa could have started, if we were a bit lacking in numbers at the front. This is why we got these guys in to supplement the squad and back up the squad when these things arise. And it's just madness to me. I think if I was playing on the Slot right now, I'll put a transfer request in and say, get my ass out of here. And you can see it as well with Salah as well. It's becoming more evident now, the fallout that happened early in the season with Salah is driving towards the fact that Slot is destroying what he knows and what he understands. And I'm just sick to death of it. I can't stand the guy. I want him out. I just want it out of my fucking club. And we've got nothing to play for now, and we haven't done for the last couple of games, admittedly, but that's not the point. The point was just sort of damage limitation here. And, you know, I'd rather go in for the last 3 games with no manager at all. I really would, because he's not making no ounce of difference to that side whatsoever. It's just bad to worse. And okay, you could probably argue there was a couple of decisions made by the referee which were bad, like a red card and maybe, you know, the disallowed goal maybe for Sesko's handball, whatever. You could say all these different things, and, you know, referees are the worst in the world. The Premier League officiating is crap. So you're not going to get anything out of that. And on another day, I'd probably be arguing about it. But because we're so bad, I can't shift this on the referees anymore. And he actually said about the referees and the decisions going his way, he can shut the fuck up, because it's him that's creating all these issues that we're having. The gaps in the middle of the park, plays out of position, plays he favours instead of ones that can make a difference, or just doing the right things, put players in their positions, in their right positions to play. All these things are just, I don't get it. I really don't get it. This guy is, honestly, I'm sick to death with this guy. I can't even tell you. I'm just upset and really angry at what I'm seeing. And there was nothing special about United yesterday. They were playing in first gear. They didn't have to make too much effort. You know, I suspect that those players yesterday coming off the field weren't feeling knackered. They didn't run enough. You know, we've got better technical players in our side, and all that Carrick did was pick the right players in the right positions. It's not bloody hard. You know, you ain't going to tell me that Carrick is a better manager or coach than Slot, considering what Slot has already achieved on his CV. But at the moment, if you look at the two of them together, Slot looks like a bag of shit in comparison. And this is what we're dealing with. And until he goes, we are not going to see an improvement. There was nothing in that game today that suggests to me that, you know, we're just having a bad day at the office. We're having a bad day at the office every bloody week. This is what we saw yesterday is tells you the style of which we're playing. You know, this is, you knew it was coming. If anybody tells me that it's just a one-off, it is not. We've been doing this week in, week out, the same stupid football, crap football, lazy, lethargic, sleepwalking football that we've been doing the entire season, apart from right at the beginning. But even then, the cracks started to appear. And so you can tell that the way that a team plays, and we've all said this, plays in the style of the manager, reflects the manager. When we played under Klopp, you could see exactly what was happening. This guy looks like he's ready to fall asleep in the corner, and that's exactly what we do. We fall asleep constantly. He's making our plays look so average, really, really average. You know, for the money we spent on all these players, and you know, there's still a few good players that are in there. We just don't look it. We're not interested. And I just hope that this guy gets shot right at the end of the season. You know, I'm absolutely done with him. I mean, look, what do you think? You know, do you agree with what I'm saying or disagree with what I'm saying? Do you think that perhaps, the game the refereeing went against us and created that kind of those kind of issues, or did we do enough to kind of get a draw, or did you see anything in that game that made you feel that we were going to go and win that game, even after bringing it back to 2-2? You know, was there anything that kind of screamed out that said, yeah, there's kind of green shoots appearing that we're trying to do something? Because I tell you what, I don't see it. I just see mud, and we are definitely stuck in it. And as long as this guy continues to be given the reins to manage us, don't be surprised if it gets. Don't be surprised we'll be sitting in the same position as Tottenham this time next season if he's still here, because it is appalling. And I don't know what FSG would do at that point if we are sitting there. But right now, it's painful. It really is painful, and I'm sick to death of it. I'm done with it. I was still, continue to watch, and only in the hope that we just hear those words that he's been sacked, and that's all I'm waiting for now. Nothing more. But that's all I've got to look forward to the end of the season. Not win a trophy, not getting to a final, not trying to get third or fourth place or anything like that. I'm just sitting here waiting for this arse clown to be sacked. And once that happens, irrespective of how the rest of the results go or at the end of the season, that would actually make my season. Thanks a lot for last year. Kiss my arse a lot for this year. Time to go, brother. Time to go. That's my little rant over, guys. Love to hear what your thoughts are. Love to kind of, see what you think, and, love you to kind of challenge me in what I'm saying. I'm still kind of highly emotional about what I saw. And I think most of you are as well. But yeah, it'd be good to see what you're saying. I'm now going to put this to bed. It's done and dusted. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my week and the rest of my bank holiday, to be honest with you. I'm not going to think about this dickhead anymore. I'm sick to death of watching it, and it's not the Liverpool way. This is a sabotage at this point now. This guy's going in there and being so stubborn by his own methods. We're suffering for it. Our performances are suffering for it. The fans are suffering for it, and as where we are, from where we were, are suffering as well. You can't tell me that in one season that this. I know he's been into his second season, won it last year, but you can't tell me in one season he's managed to completely undo everything that we know and love Liverpool to be. That's what I think. But anyway, guys, listen. Have a great rest of your bank holiday. Keep your head up, chill, relax. Game's gone, it's finished. We know what's happening, don't we? We know where we are. And as always, guys, you never walk alone.